Welcome to this 97th June weekly meeting. Today's topic it is the demands for grants. Very important topic for all the participants of all the departments. We'll discuss very briefly, and I'm going to restrict this session only for demands for grant, not primary units, not planets, and or any other thing. Okay, please concentrate. See, first of all, we discuss what is demand, what is grant. See, what is demand? Demand is a request to the parliament for grant of funds. Once that request, that is a budget estimates are sanctioned by the parliament or passed by the parliament, that is a vote for the grant, then whatever amount is granted is called grant. So that is called demands for grants. Demands are requested by the government. Government means it is a executive to legislature. Legislature here means parliament. Once parliament is passed and authorizes the government to utilize the funds appropriate from the Consolidated Fund of India. That is the reason the bill which was muted to the parliament for passing is called Appropriation Bill. Please note down. Appropriation Bill. That's why at the end of the year also we are submitted to the parliament appropriation accounts. That is the reporting back to the parliament. That means the amount which was granted by the parliament as spended and the differences between actual and grant, it is all in the form of the appropriation accounts presented to the parliament at the end of the year. It is called appropriation accounts. And in the beginning, the appropriation bill is authorized to incur the expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India is called, that is appropriation bill. So briefly, it is called demands for grants. Now, how many demands we have and what are the, why these demands are nothing but a broad divisions. Okay. Yeah. Please check. And the main object of this session is to remember the demands as easily as possible. Because all of you know we have erstwhile demands 1 to 16. 1 to 16 demands is there. Erstwhile demands. Why we call erstwhile demands? Because from 2017 and 18 onwards, our all 16 demands are merged with a single demand that is called 85 for current year. All of you know. Okay. So that's why we called this 16 demands are called erstwhile demands, or we can call it as numerical numbers. Numerical numbers. Because why this is still we are relevant for our topic means because in the allocation or classification of revenue expenditure, still we are using the demand numbers only, not this 85. That is the important. So the erstwhile demands, they are not placed in a zigzag order. They are placed in a systematic order. Systematic order as per their activity or as per the importance in the Indian Railways. Not like zigzag. If you check the demand number for retirement benefits, they are not placed under demand number 1. And at the same time, they are not placed railway board demand as 14. They are in a systematic way. We will discuss the systematic way of all the demands one by one. Prior to that, we are to broadly classified as revenue demand as for 1 to 15. And this is the single demand. It is the for capital. That is 16. So it is better we have to check what is revenue expenditure, what is capital expenditure. Please remember revenue expenditure, very simple day-to-day expenditure. Every day this is expenditure is incurred. That is the maintenance, repairs, day to day. This is a one-time expenditure. Simple. One-time expenditure. Suppose if you purchase four-wheeler, you need not purchase again four-wheeler in the next month or next year. So, but if you purchase provisions, petrol or school fees or some dairy products, again you have to purchase frequently, either every day or every week or every 5 days or every month. So that is nothing but revenue means recurring expenditure. Capital is non-recurring. Or revenue recurring, regular, or we can call it is routine. So, or for revenue, or for recurring, or for regular, or for routine. If you check in the Indian Railways, our day-to-day expenditure, what is day-to-day expenditure? This POH, repairs and maintenance of the railway assets, administration expenditure, that is GM office or DRM office or PCME office or PCE office or PFA office expenditure, or operational expenditure, that is nothing but every day we consume this traction power, electricity or diesel for running the trains, loco pilot salary, guard salary. These are all revenue expenditure. For coming to capital, all of you know that is purchase of rolling stock, construction of new track, or purchase of machinery, construction of buildings, all or purchase of land. This is all capital expenditure. Okay. So this revenue, it is a 15 segments. Capital, it is only single segment. Okay. Now this is already we discussed. Capital expenditure means acquiring or improving permanent assets, not meant for resale. Please remember. Suppose a furniture, a automobile showroom, they are purchasing cars. That is for them, it is a revenue expenditure because it is for resale. But here we purchased a rolling stock or machinery not for resale. So that is a one-time expenditure, capital expenditure. Already I told revenue expenditure is a routine, regular, day-to-day expenditure. Okay. And here now we'll discuss this session. It is only revenue demands, 15 demands. So revenue demands, please check again. We will further divided into three broad categories. Three broad categories. One broad category, it is the entire Indian railways. This is a zonal railways. This is again Indian Railways as a whole. So what is Indian Railways? First, 1 and 2 we'll discuss in detail. And zonal railways 3 to 14. And Indian Railways again broadly demand number 15. So if you segregate the first two and last one demand, the in between the total number of demands 12. The total number of demands 12. Because 99% of staff are working in the zonal railways, so we have to focus more on the zonal railways working expenses. That is called ordinary working expenses. If we check Finance Code 2 is deals with only 3 to 14, not 1 and 2, not 15. For them, a separate allocation structure or classification internally circulated to the CTAs, RDSO and Railway Board. So this Finance Code Volume 2 only deals with the demand numbers 3 to 14. So if you count demand number 3 to 14, it is a total number of demands under ordinary working expenses. It is 12 demands. Okay. Yeah. Sunil ji, any urgent only, please unmute. Otherwise, I will check queries in the last. Please tell me, Sunil ji. Yeah, please. Yeah, yeah, cost, is my voice is okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please check with me any inconsistency, whether presentation or voice. Okay. Yeah. So now we'll go to next. So first we'll check with the demand number one starting. So it is we can term it as a super boss. Why? Because it is the apex body maintaining or controlling entire railway operations in Indian Railways. Railway Board. So the entire expenditure of the Rail Bhavan or Railway Board, including members, uh, additional members, or principal executive directors or staff or office assistant, entire Rail Bhavan or Railway Board expenditure, it is charged to demand number one. Okay. So we can call it as super boss. And now coming to, already I told this first category, it is 1 and 2, that is railway board control. So second demand, it is the miscellaneous expenditure general. Please check here, the word is very, very important. Expenditure means it is a government accounts. If you check demand number 12, it is the commercial accounts. That's why the demand number 12 name is the miscellaneous working expenses. Expenses is different, expenditure is different. So here expenditure, it is the complying the government accounts. So here what are the items comes under miscellaneous expenditure general, RRBs, railway recruitment boards, whereas RRCs comes under zonal railway. And audit, centralized training institutes, that is the IRIPEM, Sitara, IRISET, Nair, survey expenditure, RDSO expenditure, National Rail Museum expenditure, any institution on pan India, that is covering all railways, not pertain to any zonal railway, all comes under demand number two, miscellaneous expenditure general. So with this, the first part is over. 1 and 2 is over. Now we'll come to very important ordinary working expenses 3 to 14. That is very important. See, again, this is a big segment, ordinary working expenses. So it is not digested in one go. So that is the reason, again, see, this division is not divided by me. It is by Finance Code Volume 2. What is the first division? Administration. Second division, repairs and maintenance. Third division, operating expenses. 1 minute. Operating expenses. Fourth division, there is no common name. Others. So for better understanding, I put one mnemonic word. This is the I love mom kids. That means if we check first group, it is there only one demand. I stands for. LOV stands for 4 demands. Please check 1 plus 4 plus mom 3 letters, 3 demands. And next, others, it is not common group. It is all other than these 3 groups. There is no common name. Please remember. Here kids 4 letters, 4 digits. So total 1 plus 4, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 4, 12 demands. So if the question asked in the examination, how many erstwhile demands are in the ordinary working expenses, the answer is demand 12. And it is easy to remember. Suppose if the question asks for repairs and maintenance of the any railway assets, it should be in the second group, 4, 5, 6, 7 only. If the question comes for operational expenses, it is a 8, 9, 10. Now we'll discuss one by one in detail. Okay. Already we discussed the super boss. So who is super boss? Railway board, CRB members, all others. So who is local boss? Local boss, it is the GM office, GM and in zonal railway, or DRM in the division, or branch officers, or PHODs, HODs, all comes under administration. So the name is General Superintendence and Services. Here, what is the important for this administration? That is a superintendence and services. There is a two different items is there. Please check here and is there. So what is the two divisions? Please listen carefully. This services, it is a accounts, personnel and stores. These three are comes under services segment. So these three departments have no separate demand, whether it is the headquarters or field unit. Please remember. Suppose a person branch staff working in the diesel loco shed or coach repair shop. So there is no separate demand. So we have only demand number 3. Whereas others, that is superintendents, other departments other than services. Suppose engineering, civil engineering is there. If the civil engineering officer is working in the headquarters, it is comes under demand number 3. Same civil engineering officer, suppose deputy chief engineer, as long as he is working in the GM office, his salary goes to demand number 3. The same deputy CE is transferred and posted as the deputy CE engineering workshop, not in headquarters, engineering workshop, then demand number 4. That is the simple. So that is the important division between superintendents and services. Services means whether it is the headquarters or divisions or open line, wherever it is working. Suppose a divisional accountant, he may work in the open line, or stores department staff, they may work in DRM office or GM office or depots scattered all over the Indian Railways. But all their 3 department staff only demand number 3. But for other departments, it is the place of posting is important. Whether it is a civil engineering, mechanical, electrical, SMT, traffic. If they are working in the headquarters, their salary go to demand number 3. If they are not working in the headquarters, that is a GM or DRM office, their salary will go to other demands. We'll discuss what are the departments. That is the only we have to remember in the demand number 3. And another important thing we have to remember, we have minor heads, total 9 minor heads are there. Minor heads, total 9. So there is no scope for the security department, medical department, catering department, claim department under demand number 3. What are the minor heads? We will discuss later, because we have 100, 200, 300, because earlier the revenue classification, it is only 7 digit. So there is no scope for the 1000 minor head up to 900. So if we check 100, it is the general administration, that is GM or DRM office, 200 finance or accounts, 300 personnel, 400 stores, 500 civil engineering, 600 mechanical, 700 electrical, 800 SMT, 900 traffic. So there is no room for the catering department, medical department, security department. So these 4 departments, it is the exception, not come under demand number 3. Though the CMD, chief medical director or chief security commissioner, principal chief security commissioner or chief claims officer, though they are working in the GM office, their salary not come under demand number 3. Remember. Okay. With this, the first part is over. The demand number 3, that is called administration. What is administration? General superintendence and services. Now we'll come to second part. Second part, it is called, what is common name? Repairs and maintenance. So what is repairs and maintenance? So repairs and maintenance is nothing but repairs and maintenance of the all railway assets. All railway assets. See, before putting into operation for the long journeys, they have to be in the fit condition. They are in the fit conditions. For that, we have to keep them always fit by attending repairs or maintenance. So what are the railway assets we have? We'll discuss one by one. So if you check, the first important asset is the track. Track as well as works. Works means buildings, bridges, all other civil engineering assets. So we can say this is the entire demand. It is for only civil engineering department. But please remember, it is the maintenance and repairs, not for construction of new track. Please message me. Suppose if I am asked the construction of new track, the chargeable to demand number, what is the demand number? Please message me.
16.
Very good. Very good. Yes. Yes. So construction of track, it is the demand number 16. Maintenance, it is the 4. Maintenance of track or maintenance of works, that is the buildings, official building stations or bridges, roads, everything. Okay. And after the track and buildings, the next important asset is the rolling stock. The next important asset to maintain is the rolling stock, because to run the train, the track is base important. The next important thing is required, rolling stock. Again, this rolling stock we can divide broadly into 2 categories, that is the locomotive and C&W. The first part is locomotive, second part is the C&W. So locomotive means whether it is a diesel locomotive or electric locomotive or even steam locomotive, that is heritage locos, all it is a demand number 5. Here, please remember this mainline electric multiple unit, that EMU or Vande Bharat is not comes under as motive power. It is treated as coach and wagon. Okay. Yeah. Here, please remember again, purchase of any new locomotive, it is a cost under. Please message me in the chat box. Suppose purchase of new locomotive. Yes, exactly. It is the demand number 16. This is only for maintenance, that is the diesel loco shed, maintenance of the diesel locos, electric locos. After locomotive, then it is the time for the C&W, very popular. That is for carriages and wagons. Here also, please remember, purchase of any new coach, any new wagon, it is demand number 16. Here it is the repairs and maintenance. That means all wagon workshops or IOH, POH, coaching depots, wagon depots or wagon workshops, all expenditure, it is the demand number 6. And if you check the last one, now 4 is track, 5 is loco, 6 is C&W, and 7 it is the, to maintain all the installations we require plant and machinery is very, very important. plant and equipment. So any repairs and maintenance of this plant and equipment, it is charged to demand number 7. And if you check 1979, our Finance Code 2 is started. Finance Code 2, present edition, it is the 1979. Before 1979, there was no separate demand for this repairs and maintenance of plant and equipment. That means repairs and maintenance of plant and equipment are connected with the carriages and works, it is charged to 6, or connected with the track, charged to 4. But later they realized this is also a big segment requiring a separate demand, separate category. So they created one separate demand for only plant and equipment. This is, we can call it as general demand. Why? Because plant and equipment is required for each and every department. Even this wall clocks, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, or any almaras, any furniture, all it is treated as the plant and equipment. So all departments it is involved. If you check 4 is, it is a civil engineering. 5 predominant, it is mechanical and electrical. And 6 also mechanical and electrical, most of the segment. But this is the general demand. So we covered the first part, administration, second part, repairs and maintenance. Now we are coming to operating expenses. Why we are maintained all these things? To run our rolling stock for operational purposes. See how systematically the demands are placed in an order. First, policy decision is important. That's why the super boss, demand number 1. Next, miscellaneous, all other institutions, CTAs. And coming to this 3 to 14, the first is local boss administration, the GM and DRM offices. Then first, repairs and maintenance is very, very important. When you start for long journey, when you go for picnic, any long journey, first we will check our vehicle should be fit for the long drive. Check and should. So that's why this repairs and maintenance is important. So our trains also journeying, it is a thousands and thousands kilometers. So the operational part coming third group. So here you can remember very easily to remember these 3 demands. Because the first important person is loco pilot. To run the train, the first important person to remember loco pilot. Second important person, it is the guard or train manager. And third important thing, it is the fuel. So loco pilot, train manager, fuel. These 3 are very, very important, essential for running of the train. Operating expenses. Now we'll discuss one by one. What is exact description of demand number 8? What is the exact description of demand number 9? What is the exact description of 10? Okay. So this is the loco pilot salary also included demand number 8. So if we check the common name, please check. The common name for demand number 4, repairs and maintenance. Common name for demand number 5, repairs and maintenance. Repairs and maintenance, repairs and maintenance. That means this is the group, all common name. It is the repairs and maintenance of the track, repairs and maintenance of loco, repairs and maintenance of C&W, repairs and maintenance of the plant and machine. Like that, these 3 demands also 8, 9, 10, it is the prefix is the operating expenses. Operating expenses is the prefix for the 8, 9, and 10. This is the group. So what is the demand number 8? If you check maintenance part, We have two demands for rolling stock. This 5 is motive power, 6 is the C&W. But for operational purpose, both entire rolling stock, it is the only one demand. And along with the rolling stock, it is the equipment. That means it together 5, 6, 7. Three demands, it is the repairs and maintenance. It is connected with the operational part comes under demand number 8. What is 5? Motive power. 6 wagons. 7 equipment that includes this S&T equipment. So all three together for operating part, it is comes under demand number 8. What is demand number 8 description? Operating expenses, rolling stock and equipment. Equipment here, signaling equipment. So whether it is including loco pilot salary or assistant loco pilot salary, here the traffic portion will not come under here. Only the staff connected with the rolling stock, that is the loco pilot, assistant loco pilot, signaling staff, all except this traffic staff. Then next one, already I told the first important person is the loco pilot, driver. The next important person is the guard or train manager. So the demand number 9, it is the operating expenses traffic. Like demand number 4 is entirely for civil engineering department. This demand is 99%, it is the traffic department. Traffic means it is the, please check commercial and operating. Both come under traffic. If you check the IRS, the civil group A service that is called IRTS, Indian Railway Traffic Service, prior to this IRMS. So please check here station master, guard, ticket checking staff, booking clerk, TTE, including the control room staff working in the divisions because they are meant for the operation of the trains. There also comes under demand number 9, operating expenses traffic. And the last demand under this operating expenses is the fuel. Simple. Operating expenses fuel, whether it is the coal or HSD, diesel or traction, only for running the trains, not for maintenance of the assets. Suppose if you consumption this diesel for the maintenance of any asset machinery, it is not comes under demand number 10. Please remember. It is only for operational purpose. Suppose if you pay the electricity bill for the DRM office or GM office, it is not comes under demand number 10. It is only for operational purpose. That means payments to state electricity boards or distributing companies for traction or this diesel consumption, everything. Normally this 10 and 9 are the single largest demand. Previously the demand number 10, now because of this IRFC lease charges, the demand number 9 also is exceeded the demand number 10. Anyway, we're going to check the February 1st. It is the budget presentation. Just hardly 2 weeks. So with this, the third segment also is completed. Third segment also is completed. Operating expenses. So now we are covered administration, 4, 5, 6, 7, repairs and maintenance, operating expenses. Now we'll concentrate this last 4 demands, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. See, if we check the railway administration, the railway, this planning, this demands very systematically. It is all operational part, railway part. For operation of the trains, this 3 to 10 is very, very important. But this is not connected to the operation of trains. Not connected to the operation of trains. So there is no common name also. So after end of the duty, whether it is a GM or DRM or senior section engineer or SSOA or accounts clerk or office assistant, everyone they wants to now care for themselves as well as family. Now it is their turn to the family care, family welfare. So that is the reason the railway board meticulously planned the demand number 11 after completion of this 3 to 10. Please check. So what is the 10? It is the staff welfare and amenities. Staff welfare and amenities. If you check the expenditure incurred for the railway schools, hospitals, or staff canteen, or recreation clubs, railway institutes, including children educational events, everything. This is only for staff, not for railways. Staff welfare and amenities. And if you check classifying any household expenditure, we'll put one column, last column as miscellaneous. Why? Because for certain small things, we cannot put separate columns, separate demands. If it is goes on, it may goes beyond 20 or 30 demands also. If you put for each and every activity, one separate demand. So that is the reason they created demand number 12 for the all other miscellaneous activities. Please message me what are the items not covered so far in the demand number 3 to 11. Some miscellaneous topics, miscellaneous items, activities. Please message me if you are able to do. Yes, very good. Yes, security, good answer. Yes, medical. Yes, catering. Yeah, medical, please remember. Medical, it is comes under part of staff welfare, not miscellaneous. Please remember, medical, it is part of staff welfare, not miscellaneous. Okay, yeah. Yes, catering, security. Yes, claims, very good. Yes, training also very good. Yes, RPF, medical it is not come. Yes, cash award, very good. Cash award. Yeah, audit, it is comes under demand number 2. Very good, very good, very good. Good, good, good. Yes, ex gratia, claims, compensation, or any fire accident loss, anything. Please check. So the demand number 12 is the miscellaneous working expenses. You can remember this demand very easily. How? The demand number 2 is the railway board miscellaneous expenditure general. Demand number 1 is railway board. Demand number 2 is the miscellaneous expenditure of all entire Indian Railways activities. That is RDSO, RRB, NAIR, CTA. If you check this is zonal railways, it is the demand number 12. Very easy to remember. 2 and 12. 2 and 12. 2 is miscellaneous expenditure. 12 is the miscellaneous working expenses. If you check the CTI is demand number 2 and zonal ZRTI, zonal training institutes 12. Okay, very easy. And security, already I told that 9 minor heads are there. So there is no room for the 10th and 11th minor heads. So that is the reason security, yes, it is comes under demand number 12. Even though the principal chief security commissioner working in the GM office or divisional security commissioner working in the DRM office, their salaries comes under demand number 12. Just because of they are working in the GM or DRM office, their salary not goes to demand number 3. Please remember. Understand? And this chief medical director, principal chief medical director salary also comes under demand number 11, not demand number 3. Hope no doubts. Any doubts, please note down on piece of paper. We'll discuss at the end of session. Yes, cash awards. training. Yeah, Hariji, please unmute if urgent only. Yeah, please tell me. Yeah, please ask your query. Okay, right. Yeah. And the last but one or last phase of the our railway employees, it is the retirement. So whether it is a provident fund, pension, and other retirement benefits, that is the DCRG, leave encashment. See, leave encashment during the service, it is charged to respective demands. Only leave encashment at the end of the service, it is the retirement is called to demand number 13. DCRG, commutation of pension, all it is the demand number 13. Last but and 14 is the appropriation to various funds. The first important is the DRF, pension fund and development fund, capital fund, RSF, safety fund, railway safety fund, or debt service fund, liability reserve, or debt service fund or liability reserve fund, all funds appropriation to. Yeah, please admit, Chintuji.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please tell
Uh,
me.
Sir, kindly repeat once of demand number 12 as miscellaneous.
Yeah, very good. Okay.
Thanks, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay, right. Yeah. Demand number 12 is the nothing but miscellaneous. Those not covered under demand number 3 to 11. Whatever items not covered under 3 to 11, miscellaneous activities. If you divide your household expenses, you may put the main categories, the provisions, school fees, or transport expenses, medical expenses, entertainment, some major categories. And last, you put a small category, it is the miscellaneous, petty expenses. Like that for railways also, these are all small activities. Security, hospitality, what is hospitality? Inauguration of the Vande Bharat, inauguration of just recent, just now you checked the video, na? Inauguration of Challapalli terminal or catering. See, the canteen is staff. So demand number 11 part. But catering it is for passengers. So 12. And training. Training means Zonal Railway Training Institutes or Supervisor Training Center. All training activities. All India wide, it is the demand number 2. But zonal wise, it is 12. Or losses. Accident is happened. We are paying ex gratia or claims. Some baggage was lost by the passenger. We are paying claims. So all claims, compensation, losses, hospitality expenses, cash awards, any expenditure which is not accounted under demand number 3 to 11, it is comes under 12. Okay. So 13, it is already discussed all retirement benefits. That means you can check 1 to 12, it is during service. 1 to 12. But 13, yeah, 3 to 12. But 13, it is only for after retirement, not during the service. Okay. And 14, it is a single demand for the all funds, whether it is a capital fund, DRF, pension fund, liability reserve fund or debt service fund, say a railway safety fund, development fund, any fund, appropriation to funds. Next, this is, yeah, this 14, it is not written. Yeah, please check. This is the part. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. And here this is not required for now, because the merger of budget, it is happened in the 2017 and 18. After that, no need to pay dividend to the Ministry of Finance, but it is still in the books, that's all. Officially not deleted this demand number, but there is no relevance. Okay, but this is not only dividends payable to the general revenues. Sometimes the railways has taken loans from the central government for completion of the DF development fund, other some other works. So the repayment of the loan also, it is comes under demand number 15, dividends to general railways and repayment of the loans. So it is in the books. And 16, all of you know, that is the capital. That is the assets, construction, replacement, and purchase. All. Yeah, please wait. I will unmute each and everyone. So this is the overall, if you check. So here, what are the numbers? Normally, we are confused so many numbers. That is the demand number, plan head, source of finance, primary unit. So first to check this revenue classification, these two numbers are very, very important. Demand numbers 1 to 16. And primary units also two numbers. These not much important. This is nothing but minor head, subhead, detail head. And in the capital, it is nothing but it is the source of finance. The first two digits, that is the 20 for capital, 21 for DRF, 25 for capital fund, like this. These numbers are important for capital. But primary units are same. But here the first, third and fourth digit, it is called planets. Planets also very, very important. That means if you check the demand number, two digits, plan head, two digits, primary unit, two digits, and source of finance, two digits. So sometimes don't confuse, because the planet, it is the 11 new lines. At the same time, demand number 11 is the staff welfare. And if you check primary unit 11, OT expenses. Understood? So don't confuse. Or if you check source of finance, this 20 is the, or 21 is the DRF. 21 is DRF, source of finance. Same if in case of planet 21, it is the rolling stock program. But there is no demand 21. So don't confuse. The demands are separate, planets are separate, and primary unit are separate. Primary unit also revenue and capital. And source of finance, the first two digits in the capital, that is also separate. Demand number 1 and 2, please check. Major head 3001 and 3 to 14. Major head 3002. Indian Railways working expenses, commercial lines. And demand number 15 is, you can remember 5 and 5, 3005. But not important. And demand number 16, it is the called 5002. Another important major heads, this is the XYZ, revenue receipts. This is the ordinary working expenses, 3 to 14. And demand number 16. Please remember the major head, very easy to remember. 1002, 3002, 5002 for commercial lines. All three together commercial lines. If we add one number, 1003, 3003, 5003, it is for strategic lines. So this is the XYZ. All of you know X means coaching earnings, Y means goods earnings, Z is Sunday earnings. All together it is called revenue receipts. It is the 1002 major head. This is all called major head. Very important major heads. Strategic lines not much important. So this is very easy. 1002, 3002, 5002. These three are very important. Now we'll check the sub-major heads. It is the only for 3 to 14. 3 to 14 only sub-major heads comes. Because if you check, this is the biggest major head, 3002, 3 to 14. So we have to discuss only sub-major heads 3 to 14, not for 1 to, not for this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. See, this is nothing but sub-major head starting with 1 to 12. So this is the sub-major head. It is the starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 12. That means what is the simple rule? Minus 2. If you minus 2 from the demand number, it becomes sub-major head. Please listen. And last slide, it is the abstract. Abstract. So this is also 3 to 14. Please remember. So please start with the A. Because it is the before computerization, we used to index the demand numbers A, B, C, D, E. Now it is not in use. But in the still examinations, they may ask what is the demand number 3 abstract. So I told you now this is only comes to for 3 to 14 ordinary working expenses, not for others. Whether it is a sub-major head or abstracts. So it is a start with the A to last number, but skip the I. Why skipping I means? Because if you write I 110, it becomes 1110. So that's why they skipped the I during those days pre-computerization. Now please check the demand number 3 is A, 4 is B. In case the question asked in the exam, please write one draft rough notes and prepare this table like that. And you please select the what is the correct abstract number for the correct demand number. So please write serially, skipping only I. So 3 is A, 4 is B, 6 is D, 7 is E, 8 is F, 9 is G, 10 is H. Here 11 actually should come I. but we have to skip I. So put J. Skip I. That is important. So next, continue. 12K, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I skipped J, K, L, M. 13, L, 14, M. Okay. After M, this 12 demand and 13 demand is having two abstracts. So what is the after M? N. N for suspense. And after introduction of this NPS in the 2004, January 1st, the government contribution to the NPS staff, it is a budget under abstract O, because after N, O. So this demand number 12 and 13 only another abstract K and N, L and O. So that means it is the A to M except I.